Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Steve Freeman here at Zombies Bar here in San Antonio. Okay, so last video that I had put out that you guys could ask me any single question that you want, and I'd get back to you from a bar owner's perspective. So I got a question that came in, and I found it pretty interesting. So basically, I had a customer ask me, should I cash in my 401k so I can open my own bar? Now, guys, I'm no financial planner. I am not a guru giving advice. I'm not being paid from anybody. There's no whatever. So these are all just my opinions. I'm not a financial planner. With that said, here's my honest opinion. Should you cash in your 401k? Absolutely not. Do not cash in your 401k. If you've been in a job for, say, 10 years, 20 years, and you are putting into a 401k for your retirement, use that 401k for your retirement. Do not use that for a bar. Do not cash it in, take the penalty or whatever. I think it's almost like 20% if you cash it in. You put in your money to a 401k so you'd have money for retirement. Use it for retirement. Believe it or not, it's going to come up faster than you want it to. And that's what it's for. It's there for your retirement. It's there for you to go travel and do whatever. Listen, a bar is probably, I think the last time I looked, the second failing business in America. So I think restaurants are number one, bars number two, number three. They fail all the time. You can almost count. I think they even have the time when you buy your permits and everything. You have to pay 2 years in advance because they know that 90% of them don't make it past 24 months. So keep that in mind. That it's probably like I said, the second most failing business in America. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't take a loan against your 401k. So if you have a 401k, and then if you have a Roth or you have an investment account and you've been putting money in that over the years, you need to speak to whatever brokerage is handling that. You may be able to get a loan against that. You don't want to pull the money out. But if you are working with some good people and you think you can get the bar going and you think you can do things, you can always take a loan against it. You're going to have to check with either Fidelity, Schwab, whoever's running your stuff, whoever's running your 401k. And there may be a way to do that. I know that Schwab and Fidelity have a way that you can take a loan against your investments, but that's usually a Roth or it's an IRA or something like that. But if you're thinking, hey, I've got $50,000 in my 401k. I always wanted to own a bar. I don't recommend it. That's just my personal opinion. I don't recommend that. What I do recommend is if you, in your head, have it that you eventually want to own a bar, start saving. Start putting a separate savings account. Get a high yield savings account. Open something that's got a 3, 4, 5% interest. You can find some with Ally or SoFi or look into your bank, look in Capital One or whoever. I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. I'm just saying they offer an HSA. It's a high yield savings account. So with that goal in mind, you can start dumping money from your paycheck or wherever. If you have a side hustle, start saving money if that's your goal. So keep in mind, to even a number to hit to open your own bar. If you want to open a small little dive bar, you're still going to want to put probably close to 75 to 100,000 away just in upfront expenses, things like that. It's a safety margin. If you're going to open a larger bar, and you're good with finances and you know what you're doing, great. I'm just talking about dive bar kind of stuff. Talk about your neighborhood bar on the corner. I wouldn't attempt it under 75 or $100,000 at all. Also, just so you know, banks are not going to give you a loan for a bar. They just will not. I've gone to every bank. I've filled out every paperwork, and as soon as they find out a bar, it's not going to happen. You can, however, get a personal loan. So they don't ask too much questions on that. If you have outstanding credit, you have a good pay history, you have a great job, you can also go in and get a personal loan to do whatever you want to do with it. You might get a better interest rate and do whatever. And that is a way that you can use your money to open a bar. But you definitely don't want to do it with the 401k or any kind of an investment account. I always wanted a bar. When I was in my 20s, I was a drinker. I drank all the time. I would make excuses to go drinking. I'd drink at the movies. I'd drink with my friends. I'd go everywhere. I'd drink downtown. I'd go on road trips. I was that guy who started in town with you. We started drinking. We ended up at the coast. I did everything that revolved around drinking. So in my younger days, what made sense to me was, hey, why don't I eventually own my own bar? I can bring all my friends over. We can all drink for free, have a great time, and I can see them every night. And I won't break the bank because I own the bar. That was my 20-year-old thinking. Now that I'm a little older, and I know that it's actually a business, it's funny to look back and think on that thinking. If you're thinking the same thing, if you're thinking, hey, I go to bars, I go hang out with my friends, I do this, it'd be great to have my own bar, have my friends come over, we can watch sports, we can watch fights, we can do this, we can watch bands, we can do anything we want to do, and you don't have any experience in it, I would highly, highly suggest you look more into it before you do it. It's a lot harder than it looks. When I was younger, I did the same thing. I would doing everything to open my own bar, everything to try to get the money, everything to figure out how I could sit around and drink with all my friends. Another thing that I will recommend to you, if you do want to open a bar when when you get older, when you retire, do whatever, try to pick up a job working in a bar, or if you know an owner or you own a manager, you can always pay for this information. Learn as much as you possibly can. You can either get a job, work there. I mean, do everything. Do everything from janitor, do everything from emptying the trash, do everything from picking up beer, learning how to order. Learn every single thing you can. If you have the money, pay a manager. I mean, pay a bar owner. Say, hey, I need to learn everything. I'd always wanted to own a bar, and I'm sure you hand over somebody a couple $1,000s, they're going to teach you every single thing that you need to learn, get it all down to you, and you can study and learn that for yourself. It would be a great way to get a jump on opening your own bar. Another good thing about working with these managers or getting a job in a bar is that you're going to learn how to deal with people. You're going to learn your people skills really, really quickly, which you need. You really, really need people skills. You need to be able to de-escalate situations. You need to listen to a lot of people. You're going to learn how to do payroll. You're going to learn how to do bookkeeping. You're going to learn how to do, God forbid, there's a problem, to deal with emergencies, how to call 911 if there's a problem, how to deal with the laws that change each year, it seems, and all the permits that you're going to need to keep your business afoot. Once you learn all that, you'll realize it is the business. It is a business. So now, once you get that in your head, you'll have a better understanding of what you'll need to do. And then once you open, you'll be better prepared. Okay, if you have savings and you want to save up for your dive bar or your bar, I would keep it around $75,000 to $100,000. That's a safe number to get your permits, get your alcohol, get your stuff, get your first last month's rent, secure your lease, and do things like that. You're going to be flying by the seat of your pants, but you can pull it off. It's not unforeseeable. But please keep in mind, just because you sell alcohol, just because you have a bar, does not mean that you're going to be successful. There's a bar on every corner. There's a bar on, you can look around. There's one 10 blocks away from you. They're everywhere. You got a pool hall, you got a sports bar, you got like me, there's a themed bar. You're going to have to come up with a concept that sets you apart from everybody else. And hopefully you can drive your own clientele, your own market to come to your establishment. Look around and do your homework. Okay, guys. So now, in a nutshell, basically, here's what I recommend. I recommend, if you want to open a bar, set up a separate high yield savings account, drop money in there. And once you get to about 75 grand, between 100,000, then start looking into finding a location. Now, the easiest thing to do is find a bar that has gone out of business in its own location. There are a whole bunch of different problems with opening a bar in a new building. It's a whole different video on its own, but if you can find a bar that has gone out in a location that you're looking at, that's the easiest thing to do. Now, you need to find out your local your local laws, your permits. We're in Texas. Look up TABC, the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission. Look at all their laws, their rules. You can call them up. You can talk to an agent down there. They'll be more than happy to help you. Um, then you need to talk to development services in your city, whether it's San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Dallas, whatever. They'll tell you what permits, licenses, and everything else that you're going to need. Once you do that, make a whole list of everything that you're going to do. Sit down, come up with a game plan, and then start working on doing what you're going to do. Quick note, here's a thing that I learned over time. So if you're going to go look into a bar, you find a building, you're going to do everything you're going to do, and you're going to sign a lease. It's just going to be a quick little thing. Make sure in your lease that you do a 2-year option of whatever, 5, 8, 10, whatever. But just do an initial 2-year. This way you give yourself a time if something goes wrong. 24 months and you can't make it, you're out of money, you're not bound to a lease that you're going to end up being sued for, which then they can sue your 401k, they can sue you for any assets or whatever I had. Base yourself up for 24 months. That way, if your idea goes south, you're not bankrupt by the end of all of it. So it's a safety measure for your retirement. Hey guys, I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope I answered your questions about the 401k stuff. I know I probably missed some things here and there, but I want to thank you for watching, guys. And until our next video, I'll see you then.